Good morning, guys. This is Nathan Pennington from RunDreamAchieve.com, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about a common question I get all the time, and it's how to get good at running fast. I wish there was a easy answer regarding this because there isn't. There's no way to achieve the capability to run fast for long periods of time easily. One of the most important things you have to keep in mind is your goals. You have to uh, look at your a long-term approach in terms of your preparation, in terms of racing. You have to also realize that uh, things like running fast for long periods of time over an extended distance takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, and you're not going to achieve great results immediately. You know, it took me from 1992 to 2007 to break the 2 hour and 20-minute marathon barrier. So you have to have an enormous amount of grit. You have to want and desire what you're aiming for. You have to spend a lot of time training at, near, or far below your goal race pace, regardless what pace it is. If it's 8-minute mile pace you want to hold for the marathon, get used to running, anywhere from 6-minute mile pace to 8-minute mile pace in training. Now, granted, we can't spend a lot of time, training at 6-minute mile pace when our race pace is 8-minute mile pace. So the key thing is just to keep a long-term approach. Don't get caught up in, desiring immediate results, because in this sport it just does not happen like that. How to get good at running fast demands delayed gratification. You have to have that mindset of, okay, this is the specific pace I need to hit for this specific race distance, and I'm going to achieve this goal in this amount of time. A lot of times we don't achieve our goals. We don't achieve what we're seeking out in a matter of months or weeks. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it takes decades. Obviously, it just depends on what your goal is, how difficult it is. I don't know if you're tracking this or not, but we have a guy named Eliud Kipchoge, who's the world record holder for the marathon. He's trying to break 2 hours for the marathon. That comes out to 4:34.7 per mile for 26.2 miles, and he's been training for that for many years. Just one half marathon under an hour is an elite world-class time, and he's going to try to do that for 2. So those types of goals may take up to a decade, may take longer. Obviously we see what he's doing now, and recently this past weekend, Kenenisa Bekele from Ethiopia came within 2 seconds of breaking his world record. Ran 2 hours 1 minute 41 seconds, which comes out to 4:38 per mile. So, obviously we're not on that type of level, but whatever type of goal that you have, just expect that it's not going to be easy. I think one of the most important things when it comes to going after faster times and going after tough goals is just that grit, that determination that no matter what I have to do, I'm going to do whatever it takes to achieve it. So, how to get good at running fast, it all comes down to practice. Consistent, persistent practice, training at, near, or far below your goal marathon race pace, or your goal 5K race pace, 10K, half marathon. That is really the key. It's also very, very important. I do not want to not state that running easy, running relaxed, getting out and just enjoying spending time on your feet is really important as well. All the benefits that we do, all the benefits from our hard training, from those tempo runs, those repeat 200s, doing hill repetitions, doing hard long runs, all of those benefits, those physiological benefits that we get from those types of workouts, it comes in the rest. So you have to have the same amount of discipline that you have to get out on the track and to do those repeat 200s, those repeat miles, those repeat two miles. You have to have that same type of mentality and that focus to back off when you have to. you have to master that part, and that's a big challenge for a lot of distance runners, myself included, over the years. It took me a long time to finally get that it's not about running high mileage. It's about quality over quantity. If you have most runners, I mean, there's a lot of athletes that have specific time goals in mind. So to get those particular times, they have to run at a particular pace. So how to get good, get good at running fast comes down to just patience. It comes down to patience and persistent practice at training much faster than you're trying to race at. Obviously, and not only that, but also backing off and running, doing your easy runs at a relaxed pace. That's why I highly stress heart rate monitor training in all the courses that I've created on RunDreamAchieve.com. I definitely encourage you to check out the go on RunDreamAchieve.com, click on the courses tab or the training programs tab. I have created training programs that are specific to athletes going after a specific time, whether it's a 4-hour marathon, a 3-hour marathon, 3:30 marathon, 10Ks, in 55 minutes or 45 minutes or 35 minutes. Those are there for you, and I'll leave the links to those in the description of this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. That way, anytime I make a new video, you'll be notified of that. So definitely check that out if that's of interest to you. But yeah, just what I've done over the years too. I've run very hard on those hard anaerobic efforts, but I back off. When it comes to an easy day, I am jogging. If I know the route, most of my routes I know how far they are. I don't wear a watch. Even when I ran 2:19 for the marathon, I didn't wear a watch. I didn't wear a watch when I ran 1:07 for the half. I had no clue what pace I was on, and the only time I did know what pace I was on was when we were obviously hitting specific time clocks, and the volunteers were out screaming, hey, you're on this pace. When I ran 2:19, I remember hearing the guy call out 1:44.05 at the 20-mile mark. So, and I remember him yelling out 5:11 pace, and I couldn't believe it, because prior to that morning, my PR for the marathon was 2:40.02. I'd run a 50:54 10-mile and a 1:07.06 half marathon, so I knew I was capable of breaking what my goal was 2 hours and 22 minutes. So I knew I was on that pace and far below it. And I had also known prior to that I'd done the work, and that really comes down to how to get used to running fast is obviously in practice. Practice in training should always be the hardest part. The race should be the fun part. You should challenge. You should always push yourself to the limit and beyond, if there is a so-called limit. You should always push yourself to as hard as you can in training. But you also have to also keep in mind that you also need to back off. You need to take it easy on those recovery days. I'm talking jogging. I mean, I've trained with 2:10 marathoners, 2:11 marathoners, world-class half marathoners who will go out and run, 9 to 10 minute mile pace on their easy days, but they can go out and run a marathon in under 5-minute mile pace. So if those world-class athletes can do that, and I personally lived and trained with them, so I know what their mindset's like and what their daily habits are like, then so can we. It just takes it takes an enormous amount of, like I said, it takes patience. And don't get upset, don't lose enthusiasm when you don't get the results you're seeking immediately, because it may, this minor setback that you're dealing with right now, a few months down the line, or maybe 2 years from now or 5 years from now, you'll achieve it, and you'll surpass what you thought you were capable of. I'm an example of that. I never had much talent. My freshman year in high school, my best mile was a 5:09 mile. By the time I graduated, I got it down to 4:25. But it took those consistent days of training all through the years to get to that point. And I didn't just run a 2:19 marathon. I debuted at the 2002 New York City Marathon, starting in last place for a lung cancer charity. Ran 2:43.36. I had no clue how to run it, but it's just an example. big results don't happen overnight. So just be patient with yourself. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, you've never run a 5K in your life, or you've never run the marathon, but you have a goal of running it in a specific time. Well, map out what you need to do. What is the specific time you need to hit per mile for that distance, and then get used to training below that. In training, even for a few minutes. Obviously, if your goal is to run a 7-minute mile pace for a 10K, okay, it's going to be very, very difficult to run 5-minute mile pace in training, but you can spend a little bit of time, whether doing a 200 meter repeats or repeat 400s at 5-minute mile pace. It might be 300 meter repeats might be better for you, but spend a little bit of time training that much faster than 7-minute mile pace. And I guarantee you, 7-minute mile pace will, over time, get much, much easier. And that's why the best runners in the world make it look so easy, because they've spent such an enormous amount of time training at a high heart rate for long periods of time, and they've been able to teach their body to clear lactic acid faster than it's building up. And that's really the key to running fast in training, is you want to teach the body to improve its lactate tolerance capability. These physiological benefits don't come from running easy. They come from running fast. But to get the results that you're seeking, you also have to have the discipline to run slow and relax and take it easy on those recovery days. That's where the true, benefits come from. It comes from the rest. And if you don't back off, your body can't just continue to push hard every single day. I'm a big believer in running faster on long runs. Vary up the pace a little bit. Don't run slow every single weekend on your long runs. Running slow is still important. Okay, so I definitely want to make sure that that running slow is still very, very important. Excuse me. But you also have to vary up the paces. Teach your body to spend time at a higher heart rate for a longer period of time. This does a lot of enormous benefits to over the long term. It'll teach the body to be able to clear lactic acid faster than it's building up, so you're able to sustain pace for a longer period of time, run more efficiently, and overall get better results if you've tapered correctly, if you've stayed patient, and if you've stayed consistent in training. So I hope this video has been helpful. And like I said, I'll leave the links to the courses and training programs that I have created on RunDreamAchieve.com in the description of this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely click the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, anytime I make a new video, you'll be notified. And feel free to leave a comment. Give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you decide. But yeah, if you have a specific question, or if something's bothering you in training, or something that you're doing in training has stopped you from meeting the goals that you're going after, feel free to let me know. I've been doing this a long time, and I've experienced the highs, the very high highs, and the very low lows of distance running, from middle distance, from the mile distance, all the way to the marathon distance. I know what it feels like to miss your goal. I know what a DNF feels like. It did not finish. I've had a couple of those over the years, and like I said, it hasn't been this just perfect, smooth ride in distance running for me. And like I said, I'm somebody that may be just like you. I never had much talent, but what I did have was a very, very high level of work ethic that I had to rely on, because what I lacked in talent, I had to make up with those hard training efforts. So like I said, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you have a great afternoon, great morning, great evening, wherever you are in the world, and I'll talk to you next time.